بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Have you opened the page? Masa on socks.
Yeah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, now the next topic is masa on socks, and it is very important topic for the areas whose winter are very strong. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, masa on socks. Wiping the socks with wet hands. Question is, on what kind of socks is masa wiping is permissible? Now we should know that masa or wiping with wet hands of socks, it is not permissible on every socks. Understand? It is not
Yeah.
permissible on all kinds of socks. There are some specific kinds of socks on which this masa is permissible. So what kind of socks are they? Number one, socks made of leather which cover the feet up to ankle. Your ankle must be covered. Socks is of leather, one thing, and your ankle is covered with that sock. If if the ankle is not covered, you can't do masa on that kind of socks. Understand?
Yes.
Your ankle must be covered. Number two, such woolen or cotton socks which have a leather sole. This is the second kind of socks on which you can do masa, that its sole is of leather, but its upper part is of woolen or cotton. And such woolen or cotton socks which are so thick that they would not be torn if one walks wearing these socks a distance of 3 or 4 miles. If you are wearing a type of socks which is of woolen or cotton, and you know that if you walk on that socks without your shoes, you can cover a distance of 3 or 4 miles, and you will not turn these socks. Then you can do masa on it. Then you can do masa on that kind of socks. Well, especially the point number one is considered here, because to prevent from winter, the people who are living in the areas of winter, they use the socks of leather especially. So we will consider that point, that your socks must be of leather and it should cover your ankle. Understand?
Yes.
Next question is, when is masa permissible on socks? Question number one was, on what kinds of socks masa is permissible, and now the question is, when is masa permissible? So the writer says masa is performed on socks to renew the ablution, provided the socks have been on since the feet were last washed in ablution. Do you understand this point?
Yeah.
Understand it? Are you
Yes.
sure?
Yeah.
Could you describe it? Could you explain this point for me?
Um, it's performed on socks to
I explain.
renew the
I, ex-
absolute.
I explain it for you. You have done your ablution and you have washed your feet. You will use these socks one time when you have done ablution full. You have washed your feet also. Now you wear the socks, And after wearing these socks, when you invalidate your ablution, from that time from the time of invalidation, you can wear and you can have wiping on that socks till 24 hours. Understand?
Yeah.
Now I explain it for you that you have done masa on 4 p.m. You have done your ablution on 4 p.m. Understand? Full
Yes.
ablution. You have washed your feet also. Now you wore the socks and you invalidate your ablution at 6 p.m. Now you can do your masa on that socks when you do another ablution till 6 p.m. next day. Understand?
Yes.
Understand the point?
Yes.
But you should understand that you should wear these socks on when you have done your ablution full. You will not wear the example is that if you have invalidated your ablution, now you are doing your ablution and you wore socks and you haven't washed your feet and do masa on them, this will not be considered as full, as completed. You will wear the socks on full ablution. Understand?
Yes.
You have done the full ablution, you have washed your feet, and now you wore these socks. Then their timing will be started from the timing of invalidation. I again explain the example that you have done your full wudu, full ablution at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. You washed your feet also. Now you wear these socks, and then you invalidate your ablution at 6 o'clock. Now, when you do your ablution, you can do masa on that socks till 24 hours till 6 p.m. next day. Understand?
Yes.
So you should know about these things because you are in the areas where winter is considered. Okay. Now, so the next question. If you can't understand anything about it, you can ask in the next class. Okay.
Okay.
You should also tell these things about socks to your family members. Okay. Maybe they have any question, right?
Okay.
Okay, this next question is, for how many days is masa permissible to be performed on socks once put on? I have told you a person on a station can continue to do the masa for a day and night. A person on journey can continue to do it for 3 days and nights. I have told you about 1 day and 1 night, that's about 24 hours, and that is for a person who is on his home, who is on station, his home, his country, he is not in journey. Understand? And if a person is in journey, in a state of journey, then he could do it for 3 days and 3 nights. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, what is the way to perform masa on socks? What is the way? So the way is masa must be performed on the upper part of feet. Doing masa on soles or heels is not permissible. So you should know that you will perform masa, you will wipe your wet hands on the upper part of masa. You will not do upper part of socks. You will not do masa on the lower part which is touching the floor. No, you will do masa on the upper part. Understand?
Yes.
Hmm. One could say that the lower part is touching the earth, touching the floor, so you should wipe that part. But no, the Sharia says that you will wipe the upper part of the socks. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, next question is masa on socks permissible in both ablution and bath? Masa on socks is allowed to be performed in ablution but not in bath. Understand?
Yeah.
You will do masa when you need ablution. You can't do masa on socks when you need bath. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. What is the right method to perform masa? The proper way to do masa is to wet the fingers of one's hands, cover the toes with three fingers, and draw them up towards the ankle. Fingers in their full length should be used for the purpose. Tips of the fingers only will not suffice. The proper way to do masa is to wet the fingers of one's hands. You should wet the fingers, cover the toes with the three fingers, and draw them up towards the ankle. This is the way. Understand?
Yeah.
Fingers in their full length should be used for the purpose. Tips of the fingers only will not suffice. Understand this? You
Yes.
will use your full fingers, not just the tips. Understand? For masa.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the question is masa allowed on torn socks? Masa is not permissible on socks which are torn out to the extent that foot is open equivalent to three small fingers of the foot, or it may open to the same extent in walking. If if the tear is less, it is permissible. Understand this point?
Yeah.
If there is a hole, or it is torn out to the extent of your three fingers, then you can't do masa on them. And if it is torn out lesser than this extent, then then you can do masa on it. That you can wipe your hands on them for ablution. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, about when we are considering the masa, the wiping, there is another thing. There is another masla which should be considered here. That masa on jabira. We are considering right now masa on socks, but we are when we are considering the wiping of hands, wet hands, we should also consider another thing, which is another masa which is done on jabira. We should. So what is jabira? Jabira literally is a flat piece of wood. Jabira in Arabic is a flat piece of wood used as bandage for the cure of fractured bone. But here the term applies to a piece of wood or cotton with ointment applied on it for the wound. Actually, if you have covered your wound with a thin wood or any other thing that you can't place it out for your ablution, then you can do masa on it. Understand?
Yes.
This is mainly this is used when you are having when one is having fracture with his any of his bones, then these things are used and you can do masa on it. Now the next question is, what are the injunctions of Islam about the masa on such piece of wood, bandage or cotton? Now the answer, this is main thing. If the removal of this piece of wood, bandage or cotton is harmful for the wound or causes pain, masa is permissible on it. You can do masa on all these of things if you are having this condition that the removal of this wood, bandage or cotton is harmful for the wound or it causes pain, you can do masa on them. There is no need to wash that thing, there is no need to wash that cotton, a bandage of wood. You can wipe your wet hand just one time on that thing, and this is equal to washing that part of your body. Understand?
Yeah.
Next question: what part of bandage is masa to be done? Masa must be done on the whole length of the bandage, whether or not it covers the wound. Understand this point?
Yes.
You're having your wound, one is having the wound on some part of hand, but the whole hand is covered with bandage, with wound, or with that type of fracture. Then you should do masa on that whole bandage, whole cotton, whole piece of wood, not just that part which is having the wound. Understand?
Yes.
It means if your full hand is covered with that thing, you will wipe your hands with the whole part of that wood or cotton. Understand?
Yeah.
What is the injunction if no pain or harm is likely to be caused by removing the bandage? If the wound is like that, if you uncover it, you will not have any pain. It will not cause any harm to your that wound. Then what should you do? Washing is compulsory if no harm or pain is likely to be caused to the wound. In case washing the wound is likely to cause harm or pain, but not so the wiping of it, the later wiping of masa may be done. If, however, washing and wiping the wound are likely to give pain or do harm, masa on bandage is permissible. Understand?
Yes.
There are three things. If there is no harm, there is no pain, you should wash that wound and you should uncover that wound. And if is in case it cause the washing cause some harm or pain, then you should uncover that part and you should have wiping, you should have masa on that wound. And if this thing also make pain or make any harm, then you will wipe on that bandage on that part of wood or cotton. Understand these 3 points?
Yes.
Understand?
Yeah.
Is there any question?
No.
Should revise this part because you must need three things, the masa on socks, and this is also important because uh, this is also an important point for those who are having wound and need ablution. Understand? Revise these few
Yeah.
points. Inshallah, I will ask question. And if you have any question, you can ask me last time. Understand?
Okay.
Assalamu
Okay.
alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.